Welcome, history fanatics, to Mrs. Heron's video playlist, where you will get the best of the best in social studies.
We're beginning with Unit 1, Where in the World Map Skills. The unit goal is analyze various types of maps of differing complexities. It includes Part 1 from Core Concepts, which is Tools of Geography, and Part 3 from Core Concepts, Climates and Ecosystems.
Okay, we're starting Part 3, Section 5, Types of Climate. This is the end of Unit 1. The guiding question is, in the winter, what kind of weather would you expect in a continental, warm summer climate?
Man, it's freezing. I wish it was sunny and hot. It's too dry. I need water. Please get me out of here. Huh? Oh. So humid. You could cut through this air with a knife. I just want something a little bit drier, maybe with a view. Huh.
Oh well, I wonder if there's even such a thing as a perfect climate.
This pop isn't working, Benny. I'm thinking like a Georgia Caesar. It's so hot here.
We've all been there. Too hot 1 minute, then we turn on the fan and all of a sudden we're too cold. Finding the perfect temperature can be very difficult. So how about we set off to find which regions of the world you would want to live based on their climate? Climate regions are areas of the world that share a similar climate. We know that the closer we get to the poles, the colder the climate will become, and the closer we get to the equator, the warmer the climate will become. The equator is also where we should see the most precipitation. We're going to begin our world climate tour near the equator in a country called Venezuela. If you're okay with high levels of humidity and heavy rainfall all year around, then tropical wet climate regions are your best bet. Get ready to never have a good hair day again, because the temperature along the equator is sweltering and moist, and you better get used to it because these regions only have one season. Wet and hot. Our next stop is the Congo, where we will experience a tropical wet and dry climate. Now, parts of Africa are in the arid and semi-arid regions, which is why geographers look at more than just countries and boundaries when they study the earth. Here there are two seasons, dry in the winter and wet in the summer. You will enjoy living in the tropical wet and dry climate if you don't enjoy trees and lush green vegetation. The dry seasons tend to last longer than the wet season and typically come with the burden of severe droughts. So it leaves these areas with very little vegetation. And regular rainfall is not very common, so it's difficult for vegetation to grow. Going on to humid subtropical regions, let's visit a little closer to home, Florida. Regions like Florida experience precipitation year-round. Winters are rarely harsh, and summers can be extremely hot. This is the perfect location if you hate cold weather, don't mind a little rain all year long, and enjoy nice hot summer breaks. Italy is our next stop. It hosts a Mediterranean climate where summers are hot and dry, while winters are rainy. It gets its name from the climate around the Mediterranean Sea. If you have always wanted to live in an oasis by the beach, this may be your perfect place. Alright mate, we're going down under to the heart of Australia for our next stop. Maritime regions boast a wet climate all year, with very mild winters and summers. Temperatures stay between 30 and 78 degrees all year, because the surrounding oceans help regulate the temperature. The trade-off is that it is typically going to have a fairly wet climate. It is very similar to the Mediterranean climate, except that the maritime has more precipitation on average. Okay, we're halfway through with our climate tour now, as we enter Japan's continental climate. This climate region hosts year-round precipitation. Again, this may not be ideal if you don't like change, because it is one of the few regions that has 4 seasons: warm, humid summers, cool, dry falls, cold, harsh winters, and warm, wet springs. Next, we will say hi to our neighbors in Mexico. This region has both a semi-arid climate, meaning it's typically dry, and an arid climate, meaning extremely dry, almost desert-like. This should be your go-to choice if you hate rain and precipitation, because here your options are dry, drier, and driest. We're on our way to the next to last stop, and things around here are about to cool down as we enter the frigid temperatures found in the subarctic climate of our northern neighbors, or Canada. Here you will have very little precipitation, cold summers, and bitterly cold winters. This is the perfect place if you find that you can't seem to ever be cold enough. It's here, the last stop before you get to journey off on your own. At the coldest climate region yet, the tundra in Greenland. It's only one small step from being a complete ice cap, meaning it has cold summers and extremely cold, dry winters. It is very close to the poles, and unless you are planning on studying wildlife in tundra climates, you probably wouldn't want to live here anytime soon. Well, I hope you enjoyed our world climate tour. Which region would you choose to live in? To review, we discussed climate regions today. There were tropical wet and dry, humid subtropical, Mediterranean and maritime, continental, semi-arid and arid, subarctic and tundra climate regions that we studied. I am looking forward to starting Unit 2. This was the conclusion of Unit 1. Feel free to go back, re-watch any videos to get more information or to review, and I will see you next time.